Guys, welcome, welcome to Pitch Club. So Pitch Club is something that I dreamt up probably about 3 months ago now. I think the product of a very large glass of red wine at about 2 o'clock in the morning. And I started thinking about, okay, what is it that I love about startups? I love the pitch process. I love a whole bunch of different things. But what is it specifically that I love? And I love the pitch. I love the thrill of the pitch. And I started thinking about Fight Club for some reason. And I thought, well, it can be quite combative sometimes. And so the first rule of Pitch Club is, hey, look, let's talk about Pitch Club, not let's not talk about Fight Club, right? So apologies for the cheesy likeness to that wonderful movie, but Pitch Club, really, we got some basic rules. Okay, so apologies for those of you who've already been here. This is very, very different to an FI type event. FI and other accelerators, of course, when you pitch, if you screw up, you get graded, right? And quite rightly so. This isn't like that at all. We're going to give you some sometimes tough feedback or a bit of tough love. That's again with love and with respect and with experience. But ultimately, we're not going to grade you and kick you out of the program. First rule, talk about Pitch Club. Basically, we're going to operate between 1 and 2 minutes. Yeah. So if you ramble over 1 minute, fine, no problem at all. You've got till 2 minutes. If you ramble over 2 minutes, I might get the shepherd's crook and pull you off stage at some point. Then what we're going to do is give you some feedback. I've got Robin in the room, and let me just keep admitting others. Typically, we have some mentors turn up as well. We've got Robin. Who else have we got? Heather's disappeared on me. Okay, Sadiq. Sometimes, if anyone's met Sadiq, we refer to him as Dr. Hollywood. And he'll give some Miami-based, Miami Vice type style feedback as well. So hopefully Sadiq will turn up as well. So we'll get some feedback for as many of you as we can squeeze in. Are you a helicopter? No, you're not. So don't pitch and roll. That's the thing that helicopters do. Pitching and rolling basically means you pitch, you turn up, and you bugger off. So please don't do that, because lots of the feedback is actually in the depths of other people's businesses as well. Someone's pinging me, hang on a second, what's this? No worries. No, all good. Safe and supportive space. It's okay to screw up. There's always next week. You've got 15 seconds to get your tech working or we move on, maybe 30 seconds. Most of all, smile, turn up, enjoy, breathe. Don't breathe, no, breathe, please breathe. Yeah, a whole bunch of this is experience, and a whole bunch of this is being able to practice. If you're going to be here, please turn your video on. If you can't turn your video on, that's totally fine. I'm not going to get pressures about it. Series A is my business. We do a whole bunch of stuff for startups at any stage that you're at. We're trying to get people, we're trying to create minimum viable founders, not necessarily minimum viable product. Yeah, so I'm investing in the founders of the future by applying a whole bunch of tools, techniques, and software and platforms, etc., to get you from one place to the next. FI is one of those places. Okay, now FI, once you get out of FI, we can have some wonderful conversations about some of the other things that we do. Not all of you are in FI, of course. We've just released this, which is wonderful. This is a full 360-degree review of your business plan if you already have it. Within 2 hours, if you have a business plan and a pitch deck, you give it to me, and we'll give you a point of view of an investor on your deck. Okay, so there are some caveats to that. The asterisk means a couple of hours, means not overnight time and not on the weekends, but there we go. We've got boosters coming up. Boosters are parts of your rocket, which enable you to propel yourself to the outer reaches of the universe. One of those boosters coming up is a wonderful No Doubt session with our very own Robin, who's also on the panel today. This is storytelling and pitching with confidence. So Robin's a TEDx speaker. He can tell you all about it. He's a national public speaking champion and an all-round great guy. Aren't you, Robin?
Well, thank you very much for that introduction, Colin. And yeah, Hi there, everyone. I just want to introduce myself quickly. So my name is Robin Sundstrom. I'm here helping out, giving feedback on all the pitches. I'm very much looking forward to that. And next week on the 2nd, we have this booster coming up where I'm going to walk you through how to structure a pitch, how to avoid the most common mistakes while pitching, and also how to prepare before a very important high stakes presentation. So I hope to see you all there. I believe we have set the time at 1 p.m. BST on the 2nd, but very much looking forward to seeing all the pitches.
Excellent. Thank you, Robin. Couldn't recommend this highly enough. And we'll have a whole bunch of coming along the line as well. We've just got another mentor joining the room as well, Mark Stanbury. So I'm going to stop my screen right now. I don't really want to get into the whole kind of picking on people, but I will. That's totally fine as well. Now I do appreciate that many of you are at different stages. If you don't have a pitch deck just yet, let me just show you a couple of things, okay? And we'll start to go through this. If you are in the FI program, we'll start to go through this in the FI program. Please, please, please use my pitch deck generator. It's here and it's free to use. And when you get to the payment gateway, then let me know and we'll give you a code to download it for free. You basically start your pitch deck, you get asked a whole bunch of different questions, and we've provided this, to help construct your pitch deck and make it as logical as possible. Okay. And I'm not going to show you all this other stuff. Later on in the cohort, we'll give you access to one of these wonderful deal rooms as well. Okay, so salesy kind of pitch over. I'm not selling anything. You guys are buying, right? So it's okay, right? Right, who's first? Who wants to put your hand up and go first? Right. Oh, that was close. That was close. Jean-Philippe, I think maybe that was you first.
Thank you very much.
Jean-Philippe, rules are you've got up to 2 minutes, just to reiterate.
Perfect.
Spotlight you for everyone so everyone can see your lovely smile.
Yes.
I'm going to time you on here. When it gets to 1.5 minutes, I'm going to go like that. So if you hear that noise, that's me.
No problem.
At 2 minutes, we need to start rounding up. Okay?
That's okay. I'm only doing the 1 minute pitch. So.
Okay. Right. Ready when you are.
Cool. So my company is developing an application for startups and SMEs to handle their travel booking needs with a keen eye on green options and carbon emissions offsetting. Its standard features include an AI travel agent, carbon emissions calculator, carbon emissions offsetting tool, and a analytics and reporting dashboard. So while we share similarities with companies like Egencia, Concur, TravelPerk, or TripActions, we differentiate ourselves with our user-friendly and digital native design, which has been crafted for the modern business ecosystem. Our platform makes it really easy to comply with carbon emissions regulations and to manage eco-conscious travel. That's it.
Jean-Philippe, thank you. You had 7 seconds left of your 1 minute, but we'll let you off that. So some early stage feedback. So how many times have you delivered that pitch?
Well, to myself a few times today. To anyone else, none.
Yeah. Well, look, you know what? Congratulations. Great job for the first time. I think there were some things in there that, look, absolutely we can work on. And by the end of, 15, 16 weeks, you're going to be doing this in your sleep. And that goes to everyone here. Now, I could see that you were reading from the screen. That's totally fine as well.
No, I wasn't actually. I was trying not to.
Okay, I'll let you off. Very often, and I think we had this kind of conversation in some office hours. Very often when you first pitch to someone who hasn't heard that positioning ever before, you need to take the time, and in 1 minute or 2 minutes even, sometimes that can be difficult. You need to take the time to articulate the pain that's there in the market.
Yeah.
Now, what you did wasn't necessarily wrong, but it didn't kind of get my heartstrings going. It didn't kind of pluck on the kind of, what's the emotion here? Because as soon as we have emotion, then we have vision. As soon as we have vision, then we have a business to fix that emotion and that pain. Yeah, then we can get into problem and solution. Now, I felt you kind of went into problem solution pretty quickly, and that's totally fine. But it didn't get that kind of, that, oh, what's the problem here? We're all killing too many bunnies by flying to places, right? Using up way too much carbon. Robin, what do you think from a story perspective?
Yes, Jean-Philippe, I would also have said that, it's very good that you stuck to the time and going for a minute. I think it's the most important pitch that you need, because then you really have to think about what it is that you're doing. The thing is that for me, just like Colin said, you're here now, you're pitching in a minute, you don't have any visuals. So you have to paint a picture with words, describing the situation, actually describing where I, as a customer, would actually benefit, because I heard a lot of features, I heard a lot of buzzwords, and now I'm sitting here and it's like, I sort of understand within what area you're operating, but I don't really see what it's going to do for me and how it's going to change my life. So I think that's very important, especially for the 1 minute pitch, to attract people's attention straight away, explain why this is a painful thing and how you're solving it in a very easy to understand way, so you have to paint that picture.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think you did well.
Good. Thank you.
Rob. Awesome. So maybe Jean-Philippe, maybe some like a couple of punchy visuals that articulate pain, big bright colors, and so on and so on. Just initially, just to help us with these early pitches. And don't forget, FI people, we build up to the 3 minutes. This, you'll start off at the 1 minute, then we build to the 3, and then we kind of pivot and play around with the 5 minute towards the end of the program.
Just a very quick question on the visual. Is it okay if on the visual I put, for example, some data or something which I don't say in the pitch, which supports it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
For me personally, I'm very visual, and so ultimately I'd like to not read from the slides.
Yes.
Yeah, it's easy to read from the slides because, well, I could do that anywhere. Yeah, the experience, if you like, of having Jean in front of me together with some punchy visuals paints the whole picture, as opposed to, well, I could be doing this in the bath. I could be reading your slide deck in the bath, right?
Yeah.
So maybe not in the bath.
Thank you.
Scrap that. Mr. Stanbury, Mark Stanbury, are you here? Are you there? Or where are you? There you are.
I am. Sorry about that. I was just in the middle of something. Yeah, I mean, these 1 minute pitches are incredibly hard, but you've got some key points across in terms of the problem, the pain. I read that in the CO2 emissions, etc. You dropped in there the core differentiators and the USPs, which were nice. So as a first stab, 1 minute pitch without slides, great.
Well done, Jean-Philippe. Thanks, Mark. Right,
Thanks,
who's
guys.
next? Who's next? Right, William. William, you're next.
All right.
William, no pressure, but everyone's looking to you because you've graduated the program. You're now, at fundraising level. You've got a great proposition, and what's not to love, but no pressure.
All right. So I'll set my clock for 2 minutes. I usually use a pitch deck. I'll try without a pitch deck for the sake of doing it. I think it's a really good exercise.
If you've got a pitch deck, then we'd rather pitch decks, but
oh, you'd rather that? Okay, well, fine. Yeah, it's a lengthy pitch deck, but okay, I'll do that then. But you have to enable my screen sharing.
Got it. The task here is to try and get that into 2 minutes without rushing it and getting all the bits and pieces across.
Absolutely. And that is a challenge. So let me see here. There. All right. So my name's William Chapman, and I'm the founder of Air by CC Squared. We develop new technologies for the measurement and control of indoor air quality. So today we're very concerned with global warming And of course, we're always concerned with our electric bill. So we've become very good at sealing our buildings where we live and where we work. We've done away with natural ventilation. And the result of that is very bad indoor air quality. There have been some very important studies from a professor at the University of Calgary that have shown that radon levels have increased in modern homes to the point at which lung cancer is becoming more of an issue. So we stopped smoking cigarettes, but now lung cancer goes back up. So our company is really about solving these types of problems. So people have been testing air quality since the 70s. In the United States, it's the result of the OSHA laws, workplace safety laws. And the products for sale today for use in this area for these purposes are stuck in the 70s. So our goal is really to create an update to these products. We create products, air sampler devices that have a good shelf life, that are green. Yeah, they don't use a lot of solvent, they're not wasteful. And we need sensitivity and performance necessary to meet today's standards. So we've created some new air sampler devices that have improved properties. One big one is room temperature stability. So we can decrease the cost of shipping by 10 times. Here's an example of one of our products. On the right is our report. It's something we're selling now. And just in a nutshell, we have a fair amount of traction. We built a laboratory. We have launched some products very recently, and we have a signed letter of intent from our first strategic partner, who's a French-speaking Swiss man. He's in Geneva. Very smart toxicologist, so it's very, very good to have him.
That's your 2 minutes, William. I'll give you another 30 seconds.
All right, and so moving forward, we've done some trial sales through our Shopify website, and so now we have customers that we've obtained ourselves, and we have really good testimonials. The customers are satisfied with the product, so we feel comfortable going out and finding additional distributors in addition to our toxicologist. Let's see here. Now, in addition to making air quality measurements, we're working on developing air purifiers that help us to solve problems at home, especially with formaldehyde, vinyl chloride, and other small molecules being present in the air. Today, we know this is a problem. So we developed this air purifier. We have functioning prototypes. We have a patent application pending, and we're further developing it. The goal is to create an air purifier that can remove formaldehyde, nitrogen dioxide, vinyl chloride from the indoor air for like less than $50 per unit, and one that we can prove works. We'll have absolute third-party testing proof that it works. So,
William,
I think that's sort of a general theme in our company.
William, I love this, but I think you could probably carry on for another 15 minutes.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's how I've learned to present. It's difficult to teach old dogs new tricks, and my training experiences in the past have been 30-minute presentations minimum, everywhere I've been. And so that is the 1 minute pitch is the most difficult. So I'm still struggling a bit with that, but I thank you very much for the opportunity to practice.
Absolute pleasure. Absolute pleasure. Thank you. And I do owe, just like many of you, I do owe you an email as well. It's been a crazy, crazy busy week for me this week. And Jonathan, I owe you an email as well. So, sorry, but I'll just send you all an email. It might be easier. Robin, I definitely owe you an email. William, I really like this because, to my point previously to the guy who was pitching just before, there's emotion here, there's pain here, there's the fact that nobody wants poor level air quality in their homes, in their place of work, and so on and so on and so on. You know, I'm not sure if you're tugging on those heartstrings sufficiently for me to care in that first 30 seconds.
Yeah.
You know, and so
It's a good point.
Thank you. I'd like to see maybe a little bit more of that emotional tuggy heartstring thing. And then in terms of the deck itself, the deck itself is pretty wordy, which is fine if you're going to send it to someone to read, you know, at their leisure. But to my point previous, you know, punchy graphics, you know, set the scene, you know, paint some visuals. And on these kind of 1 minute or 2 minute stabs, you need a completely different deck. You get the traction to the start of the deck. Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about all the great things that you've achieved in this last couple of years. Because what that does then psychologically is it gets someone leaning forward. And if they're leaning forward and then basically nodding, you know, almost from a kind of behavioral science NLP perspective, you can then hit them with a bit of a 1-2, right, Robin?
I think so too. And yes, William, I think you have a lot of good stuff in here. It's just it was just a structure that I reacted to because you mentioned a lot of things in the beginning, like lung cancer, smoking. We basically us taking clean air for granted. But if you can then paint the picture that you can basically end up with having such bad indoor air that is equivalent to someone smoking X amount of cigarettes. And then if you have one of these solutions, like you buy one of these products, you're able to eliminate that, because I think people don't understand how bad of a problem it is. And I think you have to make it very, very, very visible and very tangible. So when you mentioned that in the beginning, I just wrote down lung cancer and I underlined it because yeah, if it's at that level, you have to sort of be like, okay, maybe you're not smoking, but you can still get lung cancer and this can fix your problem. So yeah, make it more visible.
That's a great idea. Relating, give them an account of the number of cigarettes that say the increase in radon levels is equivalent to that. That's very powerful idea. I haven't done that. I could try to do that for formaldehyde too. That's what this is about. Yeah, that's very powerful. Those are great ideas to put at the beginning.
Yeah, so I think that's what I would have used as my intro. Like, do you smoke? Well, you might still have the lungs of a smoker based on X, Y, Z.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Ouch. Mark, any comment for William?
I mean, this is really good. I like it a lot as a product. Major problem for many reasons. I like I think just to echo what Colin said in terms of the content. It is very, very wordy, and you know, painting a picture, leveraging the narrative behind it rather than the text on the screen would be better, and telling a better story, I think, would really help. But aside from that, you know, you've also got some great traction, and as you know, we always say, put that at the very beginning of the presentation. You know, you've got a patent pending, you've got, you know, a signed letter of intent, etc., etc. So yeah, good
stuff. Thanks, Mark. William,
well, thank you very much. That's greatly appreciated.
Great job. Excellent. Look at that. See, look, no pressure. You kind of absolutely exuded confidence there. Well done. Who's next? Elijah, how are you?
Fantastic.
Okay.
Great. How are you doing?
Sorry about this. I told you that I'm trying to do a million things at once. I missed your chat. So Elijah, you go first. Jorge, you go next. Okay.
Cool. Sounds good.
Excellent. Loa, where are you? Where are you? There you are. Gotcha.
Am I good to go?
Now, no pressure. I know you're an actor. Okay.
Great.
So
Putting me on the spot.
Don't screw it up.
No, I'll try not to.
You've got up to 2 minutes, Elijah. Go for it.
Cool. All right. Hi. So my name's Elijah. I'm an actor, and my company, Accentify, is developing a freemium mobile application that will make accent learning much more accessible for actors who are currently in drama school and 21 to 35-year-olds. We're going to be doing this by implementing a gamified UI that uses intermittent learning and has a real-time immersive conversation with an AI accent coach at a fraction of the cost of a human counterpart. Now, currently we're competing in the education market, which last year was $1 billion industry. We're similar to companies like Speak and Duolingo, who I'm sure you've heard of, but the difference is we focus in on the sub-niche of accent mastery for performers. Now, this is a real story. Just yesterday, my agent sent me through an audition due today, which requires a LA accent from 1981. I live and breathe this problem, as do actors up and down the country, which, by the way, hundreds of which have signed up for our waiting list, which we just launched yesterday. So currently we're looking for some pre-seed funding so we can build the initial AI infrastructure and launch the platform so we can get the ball rolling for actors to start learning, improving, and maintaining their repertoire of accents. Thanks.
I was waiting for a mic drop or a kind of ending, but great. Okay, thank you. Just under 1.5 minutes there. Look, Elijah, from a delivery perspective, of course, you know, we're going to expect that you're going to nail it from a delivery perspective. So I'm going to just pivot slightly in terms of the business and in terms of the want and the desire and the need and the pain here. So isn't one of the core skills of an actor to be as flexible as possible, as quickly as possible? And doesn't that then differentiate yourself from me, who, I mean, Mark will tell you, I've had a dozen different accents just in the 8 years or so that we've known each other. I've gone from Australian to, you know, to plummy British to back to Pompey scum in just a few years. My accent changes on the wind depending on who I'm hanging out with. Isn't that one of your kind of core strengths? And isn't an app going to devalue that?
So yeah, one of our core strengths is to be able to do a range of different skills. If you look at the skills on my CV, it's like hundreds of different things, but including accents. So Yorkshire, American, Cockney, you name it. But we can't keep up the level of skill required to be delivering it on a professional level at a drop of a hat 24/7. You need to be able to practice these skills regularly, like it's any other skill, like a piano or, you know, boxing or whatever it might be. So we just don't have consistent training available to us, and it's not accessible. So the app will make it accessible and affordable. That's the aim.
I think it's really interesting. Really interesting. I'm almost tempted to ask you to demonstrate your LA accent in the 1980s, but if you wish to, of course, you know, please go ahead. Mark, what do you?
It's an interesting one. You know, I like the concept in terms of it being similar to a Duolingo for accents. I can see that being a major issue. And you know, I used to be able to do a range of different accents when I was younger, and I can't do them now. I don't know why. So I understand that the pain of having to keep that kind of process up. The presentation was, you've done it a few times, I can see that, and obviously with your background, it
was my first time.
Okay, even more so then, a great kind of delivery.
To the school or product.
Sorry? No, I think we had somebody else talking then. You mentioned the traction, which is good. And just as I was talking from the previous presentation where I said paint a picture, you immediately then painted a picture and told a story, which was great, because it just helps people kind of picture what the problem is and the kind of issue and the scenario. So that was good. But yeah, I like it, and great delivery.
Thank you. Thanks.
Robin.
Yes, no, I would have said the same as the previous members on the panel here. Great delivery. You know, you obviously have like great sound, great lighting. I think that's very important, especially if we're doing something like this. You know, it's virtual. But the thing that I thought about the most, like I know there are a lot of people who would like to be able to change their accent. And for me, the only thing that really stood out was why just focus on actors? Because this feels like, you know, if you are a business person, like I don't know how big the market is for people wanting to learn business English, but I'm guessing that's like a very, you know, it's a very lucrative market. And I know that a lot of people also want to improve their accent. So that's what I would have thought, like, you know, I feel like actors wanting to improve, like it wouldn't be a big market, and it wouldn't be a market with a lot of purchasing power unless you get to like the top level of actors. But yeah, that was my big, you know, thought or idea. that I would have changed and just focus on business people wanting to speak with like a posh British accent in you know, business environments.
So I'd love to just respond to it for 5 seconds. That's actually part of the scaling that I have envisioned. It's 100% something I'm thinking about, not just accent reduction, accent softening, accent changing, but also like B2B call center training and stuff like this. The reason I'm focusing on actors right now is because that's my bread and butter. It's my network of actors up and down the country, internationally. It's massive. I know like there's so many people I can network with. I can get traction like immediately. Basically, I can get social proof immediately, things I can show investors. And if I can get that going, then I can scale to, you know, foreign territories that I'm not 100% with.
Elijah,
Okay.
I'm looking forward to seeing how this progresses. I really am. Maybe the next challenge could be in terms of MVP, you know, how we get you into some kind of product, which can of course be a bit sticky, you know, for early stage, but you know, let's stay close, have some office hours and try and figure that out. Great job, mate. Well done. Round of applause, virtual round of applause, or physical round of applause for you. Well done. Well done.
Thank you.
Okay, so who's next? Jorge.
Yeah, I am.
Am I pronouncing you right there, Jorge?
Yeah, that's perfect, Jorge. Yeah, you nailed it.
What can I say? What can I
Well
say?
done.
It's my wonderful accent. I've been spending time with Elijah. He's taught me everything he knows.
Excellent. Yeah, so first of all, I just want to say I've already gotten a lot of actionable insight from this, so this has been great. And definitely be tweaking my pitch based on that. But this is the sort of 1-minute elevator pitch that I've been working on for Founders Institute. So I'll start with that. So my company Nudge, what we're building is a self-serve SaaS product, which is aimed at helping school admissions leaders better understand and convert leads, with a strong focus on helping them improve their admission cycles by unlocking better applicant insights and increasing their ability to automate work, collaborate with the team, and experiment. So we're similar to companies like Drip and Brevo. However, we're specifically focused on the needs of the educational space. Right now, we're in the middle of building high fidelity prototypes, and that's based on hours of customer interviews, competitive analysis, and also our own sort of deep industry expertise. And what we're looking to get out of, and a reason for joining FI, is we're hoping to get this product to market sooner, and specifically in helping us solve some of the technical challenges that we're facing.
Thanks, Jorge. Okay, I'm going to ask Mark to go first, if I may.
I mean, I'm still a bit lost with this one, to be honest with you. I know the 1-minute thing, I keep saying it is very, very hard, but I don't really feel that there was a background to any sort of real problem there, what the pain is, enough of that to begin with. And then the solution wasn't really talked about. There was I kind of get the idea in terms of a SaaS-based self-service tool for admission cycles, but I just don't. There wasn't enough context there for me to get a good feeling around what you're actually building, to be honest with you. So that's kind of all I got from the pitch, to be honest.
Okay, thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Mark. Jorge, I see a lot of tech. I see a lot of founders, and you know, realistically, if you kind of put yourself into the shoes of whoever you're pitching to, you're asking them to sprint hard to catch up with you, yeah, in just 1 minute. Now, after we've caught up with you, we can jog along and sometimes, you know, set the pace, sometimes help you with the pace, and sometimes help accelerate things. Yeah, but that initial burst of energy, it's really important that that person is able to sprint along with you. Now, mentally, you know, just like Mark there, I'm thinking, okay, I'm hearing admissions, I'm hearing schools. Schools in the UK, I think, there's a different nomenclature to the US. By schools, do you mean what we would call colleges, universities? And so that's a different demographic. So that took 25 seconds of my brain trying to consider that. Are we talking about admissions into basically what we'd call universities? In which case, big business, basically. Yeah. Is that what you're saying?
So yeah, that would be the goal, to get to universities, but initially we're starting with private primary and secondary schools.
Okay, and the pain that you're solving in there, what's the pain? What's your current observed pain in that market?
Yeah, so admissions managers are tasked with responsibilities that scale really anywhere from like sales to marketing. However, they don't have the technical marketing expertise and don't have the know-how to implement some of the modern marketing technologies. And so there's a lot of manual tasks that they're currently doing and working in different spreadsheets and different systems. So collaborating with different team members is also quite difficult. So they get the leads in from marketing. They then have to manually go in and score them. Then they have to manually send an email or manually do a phone call. Even like having the ability to track like who has signed up because they want more information about the school. I mean, I could go on for days. I mean, it's literally a laundry list of.
Let me just jump in just there then. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What you're talking about is building a sales and marketing engine for a school.
I wouldn't call it an engine. I think it's just automating some of those processes. So for example, somebody downloads the prospective, they immediately go into a sequence where an email is automatically sent out with, I mean, similar to what we would do in the SaaS, right? Like
that's exactly my point. So you're building,
okay, but not like we're not actually like consultancy. I misunderstood your question maybe, but yes,
so
I think Colin's right. I think this is HubSpot for schools and education,
which is great.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so look, let's work. We don't have time today, Jorge, but let's work on the position and the packaging, because if what you're telling me is basically HubSpot for schools or some kind of lead flow engine to help overworked, stressed out teachers and admissions people who, let's face it, that's not their skill set. So we're going to automate whole chunks of that to help them focus on what they're best at. Ka-ching, I'm all in.
I like that.
That's why we do Pitch Club. Robin.
Yes, no, I believe a lot of things have already been mentioned. I want to say the same when it comes to the thing that you're actually offering, because I was thinking, is this simplifying admin for people working like the back end of the school, or is it actually going out and selling and getting more leads? So I was a bit confused there, but I would say you presented it very, very well, like you speak very clearly. And one thing that I would avoid is to name drop competitors or things that are similar, just in case people don't know what they are. Because I don't know what was it, Drip and Brevo?
Yeah, Drip and Brevo are both, I guess. Yeah, maybe we need to think of more like household names. I mean, they are quite large. You know, Brevo's doing like 100 million in ARR, but maybe HubSpot is a better example. So that's
or not. Yeah. I wouldn't do it at all. Like I would say, focus on being able to have like a standalone explanation to what it is that you're doing.
Okay.
Just in case you drop a name and people don't know what it is, I feel like you have completely lost, you know, that pitch. Like you've lost your attention. They don't know what it is. So I would have just, I would have done that. Just really focus on, you know, explaining what you do in a very simple and clear manner.
Hey, Jorge, thanks, Robin. And
okay, cool. Yeah, that's helpful. Thanks, Robin.
Doing this 1 minute pitch, you're not trying to sell anything. None of us are trying to sell anything in a minute because that's impossible. Yeah, but what we are trying to do is get to the next meeting. Yeah, and the next meeting could be the 30 minutes where you go into the competition, you go into the depths, you go into the business model, etc. Just trying to put enough hooks in there, emotional hooks, you know, product hooks, etc. to be of worth. So thanks, Jorge. Good first job.
I appreciate all the feedback, guys. Thank you.
Pleasure. Katie, no pressure, but you're going to show us how to lose weight, right?
Exactly. Thanks, everyone. Hi, I'm Katie, and my company Eaterful is creating a simple method to help people with unwanted weight who've been failed by diets to lose weight enjoyably and sustainably by changing how they eat, not what they eat, with mindful eating principles and behavior-driven insight. An outlier in the $142 billion weight loss market, unlike nearly all other weight loss companies, we deliver the tools to help change behaviors without diets, without recipes, without meal plans, fitness regimes, and without medication. Our focus on psychology is special and science-backed, and it's personal. After losing 85 pounds with this method around 8 years ago, I published my first book, Love Yourself and Lose Weight. With 2,000 engaged newsletter subscribers, we have our first few paying customers already learning the new method at weareeatoful.com. Once we've gained traction for our Eatoful app launching soon, we'll be seeking pre-seed investment to help us get more people to join our satisfied customers and start eating eatifully. I hope you'll join the Eatoful mindful eating movement today.
Katie, I love that. That was fantastic. You, just for reference, you're 1 minute 10. But we're not gonna hold that against you in this session. Okay, you even plugged the book as well. You had time to plug the book, which is wonderful. And you've got the website already, and you've got traction. Yeah, did you talk about, remind me, did you talk about the traction at the start of the pitch?
No.
Okay, so that's okay. Let's talk about the traction. Let's talk about the users. Let's talk about the successes that you've had. Yeah, and look, I love the personal story. That's really, really evocative. You know, I'm going to talk to you about how I experienced this and how this affected me personally. And again, you know, go back to that psychology, you start getting people nodding along. You know, because, you know, not all of us are where we want to be. You know, I've just bought a rowing machine because I'm so busy. I haven't got time to get to the gym. So I've literally, after this, I'll be doing 5 minutes on the rowing machine just because that's all I can do. I have no life. But anyway, no, that's all. Robin, I'm going to hand over to you from a storytelling perspective, please.
Yes, Katie, I think it was really good, just as Colin mentioned as well, that you brought up the book, because it means that you have a personal story behind this, like your why, and I think it's a lot easier for people to be able to connect. The thing that I thought about in the beginning when you were talking about, you know, like a weight loss program and its psychology, etc., I'm thinking it sounds like you have 1.5 billion competitors, and how is this going to be different? And in some way, that is very important for you to be able to get across very, very early, because that's what I'm thinking. Like, how is this unique? Because everyone obviously has psychology angle, a diet angle, etc. Like, there are a lot of these apps. So what is it that is unique? And then tie it to your personal story. Like, you have gone through XYZ, didn't work. That's why you invented this unique thing and you have traction and it works. That's what I would have thought. And also, yeah, very good to plug the book.
Thank you. Very
Credentials is very good.
Let's do a bit of cross plugging as well. Let's just all make sure that we turn up to Robin's session. It's one of our Series A boosters. It's free, and it'll take you through some cool stuff in terms of storytelling. Mark, just quickly, if I may, because we want to squeeze in another 3 or so pitches.
Really well delivered, Katie. I like the idea. It's very interesting. There's lots of different kind of businesses out there right now, but none of them really tackle a number of areas, which is, you know, like you've kind of incorporated in your business around the psychology of actually how people are eating and their behavior, as opposed to what they're eating and the diet and the exercise. And it is very, very individual. So personalizing it. So yeah, I like it a lot. And the fact that you've got some traction there as well is very interesting. And like Colin said, you plugged the book too. So really good in that 1 minute.
Thank you.
Well done, Katie. Look forward to some office hours and yes. Okay, so Manish, where are you, Manish? Are you here, Manish? There you are, Manish. You're right in front of me.
Please do call me Manny. Only my wife calls me Manish when she's really angry at me. So Manish, Manny will do. I thought there was going to be a 5-minute pitch, so I'm going to try to squeeze this into 2 minutes if that's okay. Yeah, I've been making notes while you guys have been giving feedback. So
12 minutes. How about that?
Yeah, let's see how fast I can get through it. I'm good to go.
Good to go.
Hi, my name's Manish. I'm CEO and co-founder of Jiva.ai. Now, I've been in the AI game for almost 23 years, and there are certain problems that always come up. It's really hard to find data scientists, AI engineers in the first place. They're really expensive when you do find them. It takes a long time to build an AI project, and then there is a hidden cost of actually deploying an AI. So what if I told you I could make AI as easy as composing an email? That's what Jiva is. Create, test, validate, and deploy AI solutions all under the same framework. Now, we've done this for really complex projects like diagnostics. As an example, we built a liver disease diagnostic for Roche, and we took their R&D time from 9 months to build that AI down to 3 days. Now, imagine if we could do that level of productivity increase for every healthcare and life science company on the planet. Imagine the impact we could have. So we're in the room for 2.5 to 4.5 million pounds on our raise. We already have a lead investor in place, and we're almost at our minimum already committed. So we're kind of in overfunding mode at the moment. Thank you for listening, and I would love to have you join us on our journey.
Manny, great. Thank you very much. Welcome. I think you did around about one and a bit minutes, 1 minute 20. So not bad considering you're worried about 5 minutes. So look, love this, absolutely love this. And you're currently raising, so you're oversubscribed already?
Yep, oversubscribed already. Yeah.
So you're raising?
So we're raising between 2.5 and 4.5. So we got our 2.5 committed already.
Fantastic. What platforms are you raising on?
I haven't got any platforms yet. It's just through VCs and my network.
How have you got those VCs?
Sorry?
How have you accessed those VCs?
Oh, through network. So my chair, for example, introduced me to the lead, and that's how it all came about.
Excellent.
Getting the lead was the first thing, and then everyone started jumping.
Absolutely. Look, I love this. Absolutely fantastic. So in terms of the pain, yeah, look, AI is this thing that's becoming ubiquitous. Absolutely. So how do we democratize? Yeah, and I think that's the problem you're trying to tackle, right?
Exactly. That's exactly it. Yeah.
You know, it's just like I mean, look, AI is transformative. I'm an old gnarly tech and have been for 25 years. 25 years ago, I was teaching people to hack into computer networks, right? So, you know, I'm a sales guy now, but there's still that foundation. What we're just about to go through makes all of the last 25 years of evolution of tech look like a flat line. Yeah, we're going exponential, just crazy. So AI, of course, and the democratization and the making AI ubiquitous into all parts of our life, the opportunities are absolutely huge. So look, I applaud you, sir. Thank you for coming along. Mark, do you have anything to add here? And then we'll go on to Robin.
Just a couple of things. Look, I love the way that you simplified it by telling everyone it was as easy as writing an email. And I know I say this a lot, but painting a picture and telling a story really is critical in this 1, 2, 3 minute pitches, and you did that very well. I like it. It's very, very interesting. And if you have managed to create that, you've obviously done well to get funding already. So there's a lot of hype around this, of course. And if you've got funding, then there's a lot of interest. So yeah, but yeah, good delivery.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mark. Manny, just before we go to Robin, did you mention the because I'm on your website now, did you mention the medical aspect?
Yeah, so that was the diagnostic that I was talking about. So we've done several of those. Yeah.
Okay, very interesting. If anyone fancies having a bit of education there, then I suggest you go to the jiva.ai website where you can look at case studies and see some of that great stuff. Robin, over to you.
Yes, Manny, amazing. I thought that was really good. The way you explained the problem, and also the way that you managed to give us, concrete examples. Like Mark said, writing an email. I was also really impressed when you said when you talk about this process, you brought it from, was it 9 months to 3 days? Yeah. Which is obviously very, very fast. And I'm sure it raises a lot of eyebrows as well when you pitch it. And great delivery. And I think that you were very good as well to round it off, saying that you are overfunded, meaning that you have added this, scarcity. So if you're looking to find some final investments, people know that, okay, people are really interested in this. They are investing, time's running out. We have to do this now. So really good job.
Great, thank you.
Thanks, Robin. Manny, do you have a business plan?
I do, yeah.
And you obviously have a pitch deck as well.
Yep.
We've just gone live. In fact, we're in final betas with a wonderful tool. We've got our own AI that's going to take in your business plan, your pitch deck, and soon to have your financials as well,
Yep.
and give you effectively due diligence feedback from the viewpoint, from the standpoint of an investor.
Cool.
If you like, we'll do that as a freebie for you.
Awesome.
And just to see if there are any gaps. I'm hoping there's not any gaps, but we're coming up with some real golden nuggets with, even later stage people who are oversubscribed and have already got funding. Also, just in terms of the team, just from a business perspective, I see business and growth. So from a getting customers perspective, you've got that covered?
We don't have any we don't have a sales team at the moment.
Okay. All right, cool.
We do it ourselves, yeah.
Right, excellent. Manny, I shall send you an email after. Congratulations, sir, and great to have you here. Really appreciate it. Who's next? Olivia.
Hi.
Hi, Olivia.
I'm going to share my deck with you, but it's like a quick email teaser deck, so it's a little bit wordy, but it's kind of visual, so I'm going to bring it up.
Okay, could you lower your hand? You've got your hand raised, unless you have a question. There we go.
Apologies. Yeah.
That's right.
How can you see?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, I'm going to look over here because my screen is here, but my camera's there. Have you ever wanted to shop secondhand but couldn't be bothered to scroll eBay for hours or search through charity shops? Secondhand shopping is frankly frustrating, not only for the shopper, but also for the retailer. At Swoop, we're using computer vision to make it easier than ever to buy and sell secondhand fashion online. For a shopper, you can snap a picture of an item you want to search for, and we'll show you pre-loved alternatives from all of your favorite resale platforms and independent marketplaces, all conveniently gathered in one place. We're helping you save money, time, and more importantly, the planet. For retailers, we're leveraging our tech and our consumer data to build a one-of-a-kind listing tool that automatically generates SEO-optimized listings from a single product photo. So our independents can spend more time doing what they love and less time on manual data entry for singular listings. The timing couldn't be better for us. With the secondhand market growing 3 times faster than broader retail, we've already accumulated a waiting list of 3,000 users, with which we're about to test our MVP. And the Blue Earth Summit recently named us as one of the top 100 impact-led startups disrupting the industry. In the next 3 years, we hope to attract 8,000 users and generate 4.3 million in revenue via subscription models, commission fees, and data insights. I'm Olivia, the founder of Swoop, and I have a background working for brands such as Ralph Lauren and Christian Dior. And Swoop was really born out of my own personal frustration that the industry wasn't doing enough to shift consumer mindset away from buying new. We're currently raising a 350k seed round from angels to bring our product to market and build out our team. And I'm also looking for mentorship in sustainable fashion and development. Thank you for listening, and I hope you'll join our secondhand revolution.
Olivia, you had 10 seconds left of your 2 minutes, but we'll let you off that. Now, okay. So I'm going to put this in the context of the number of pitches that I see on a weekly basis. Okay. This last year, I've probably had at least 15, I'm going to say 15 second-hand product type marketplace or apps, etc. And so I have to admit that when you started that off, I was like, okay, here we go. It took me 30 seconds, so bear with me, right? Bear with me. So I don't want to be rude. I got 30 seconds in and you started telling me about the traction. And so the points that I've made previously about, look, get the traction up front, because if there's any kind of doubt in the mind of the audience, if there's any doubt at all, if there's any kind of preconception like, oh, there's another one. The traction bit starts to blow that away.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden I'm up and I'm listening and I'm like, ears pricked up and I'm like, oh yeah, really? How have you got those thousands of users? How have you done that? And I'm kind of far, far more engaged. So that would be, I know I'm kind of banging on a bit of a theme here. That would maybe be my initial thinking. I know Charlie at Swappers, I don't think they're not aggregating, but you're aggregating, right?
Yeah, so we're the only platform that's aggregating with an image search engine as well. So that's the computer vision aspect of it is what is standing us apart, because there is a couple of marketplaces emerging aggregating results.
Interesting. Okay, excellent. Robin, what do you think?
Well, I want to say that I haven't seen a lot of these pitches, so I thought it was really, really good. I was able to follow the problem, how you're solving it, and obviously, like Colin said, you have to prove that there is traction for something like this. And the thing that stood out to me, apart from a few slides being a bit wordy, which is also something that you mentioned, was how you actually make money. Because I didn't really have time to see or to understand who you're actually selling this to. And yeah, is it a free app for me as a user, or how does that work?
Yeah, it's free for you. It's subscription model for retailers to use the tool and gain access to data, and then also commission fees from the retailers. So completely free from the shoppers.
Okay. Yeah, that was the question I had, because I was just wondering, yeah, how you would make money off of this. But no, I thought it was really good. Very clean slides. You were very good at delivering it. So yeah, very good job. Very good job.
Thanks.
Mark, just quickly, and we're going to try and, if everyone's got time, we're going to squeeze one more in just at the end.
Yeah, that was really good, Olivia. It flowed nicely. It contained all of the components of typical powerful pitch deck, other than the monetization piece, as the previous guy said. But no, I like the idea and the aggregation. Yeah, it was really good. I liked it.
Thank you.
Olivia, one real concern is that your co-founder is a professional cricketer with the USA team.
He's not anymore. Yeah, I mean, he is US, but he's based here now. Yeah.
Say, look, I do have an attention for detail sometimes.
Yeah, that was very good.
Excellent. So thank you, Olivia. Someone, was there anyone else there? Leonard and Yannick. Where's Leonard gone?
Yeah, I'm here.
Leonard and Yannick. Look, we can carry on. I'm happy to, if everyone else is happy to. Let's go for it, Leonard.
Cool. I'm trying to share the screen. I can't get this option. Mine, which is odd.
Once you figure that out, Yannick, we'll go to you first. Yannick, you're on mute.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So I'm here to present you Cleared. I founded this company this year, and we are doing physical product authentication, and specifically for the luxury industry. Whoa. Oh, sorry, I have a bit of a few problem. Okay, do you know that there is a 35% chance that your Rolex that you buy is a fake one? The counterfeit the counterfeit issue is actually touching a lot of different personas, from the vendors to the buyers. For vendors, this is a major problem that is actually impacting their brands, and for buyers, they have to buy lower quality products, and they are actually suffering from trust issues. Our solution is an app designed to allow you to authenticate any product just based on a few pictures. But what we actually go beyond that and provide you with an in-depth product analysis of what makes your product real or fake. How does it work specifically? Yeah. how does it work? So it's really simple. You just enter your pictures, and based on those pictures, our AI will actually give you a specific analysis of what makes your product real or fake. It's really interesting, and our goal is to empower and give vendors and resellers some kind of expertise that they wouldn't have unless they're working in this environment for decades. Our target markets are actually collectors, shoppers, boutique, and custom officials. We have contacted and working currently with over 100 customers to identify the specific issues, and we have 20 specific beta users ranging from vendors to sellers to little startups to individual resellers, and from last week, one custom official that are actually using our product. And the goal here is to master and harness this technology and be able to authenticate a wide range of products, from electronics to car parts or house furniture. I'll be happy to answer all your questions, and thank you.
Yannick, thank you very much. Good job. Just for context, you were about 1 minute 45 there. I've got a strong background in KYC and AML. So KYC is know your customer, AML is anti-money laundering. And I gained that, in a kind of salesy type role. What you're talking about here is KYC for objects, right? KYC so know your customer and proof legitimacy for objects. Now, funny enough, I read an article thanks KDC. I read an article just last week that KYC for objects was one of the big, massive, great big things coming down the line. So this is actually firmly right in that niche. We haven't got a huge amount of time here, Yannick, but be interested to kind of explore more in office hours. I'm not sure if a picture is going to give you sufficient detail to be able to verify whether that article is genuine. Just as if I take a picture of my driving license, which just be on my desk, there's all kinds of different things, checks and balances that I can't do using a picture that I can do in person. So I'd be intrigued to find out more. From the slide perspective, jumping around on the slides is off-putting. I like the slides, but you're kind of going boop, 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 boop like this. So what are you using? Is it a PDF that you're using, or?
It's an app called Gamma, actually.
I don't know that one, but maybe package a 1 minute, a 2 minute, and a 5 minute version. But yeah, look, you know what? Really good job, really clear and well articulated. Robin?
Yes, Yannick, I can see you have made a lot of improvements, and now you're also able to make the Rolex connection in the beginning. Was it 35%?
Yeah,
so I thought that was very, very good. The thing that I wrote down the same thing that Colin mentioned, actually. So it's like there's definitely an improvement based, if I compare it to the last time, but to me it also sounds too good to be true. Being able to scan something with a picture, and especially if you're dealing with people who are doing this professionally. Like I'm not an expert in this field at all, but I know when it comes to, I don't know, paintings or watches or whatever, there are some very, very skilled people who for sure could, do so. Basically, you need an expert to sit down with the item to verify the identity. That would be my main point. Like, it sounds too good to be true. So how do you overcome that obstacle while you're actually pitching it? Because now you've heard it from two people.
Yeah, I would say our goal is not actually to give 100% authentication rate, but really give you an indication of which part of your product could be real or fake. So it's not really for experts, but really for the common people that wants to know and to be able to actually have a bit of that expertise to know if your product is real or fake. But yeah, I get what you said. And
thanks. Hey, Mark's been trying to convince me that a Longines watch he's had for the last few years is real, and he's been trying to convince me of that for 7 years. I still don't believe him, but Mark?
I mean, look, I for fear of kind of echoing what the other guys have said, presentation wise, I think you need to work on the flow a little bit. And there are some elements of the actual pitch deck that are missing, of course, that you didn't come to, like the monetization piece and the actual ask around investment, unless I missed it in those few seconds I left the room. And my biggest concern is the same. You know, the fakes are so good these days for some of the higher end watches. Even, you know, a Rolex of 10 grand versus a Patek Philippe, always get it around the wrong way, for £750,000. There's no, some of the top end, high end jewelers cannot tell the difference in person. So I'm really keen to understand how you're going to do this with some imagery, because I know you kind of get the response around, you know, the consumer just wants an idea of whether or not it's fake. With all due respect, I don't think that's true. The consumer wants to know 100% whether it is or not a fake. And they will take it, they will drive with a 10 grand, 20, 50, 100,000 pound watch, they will drive it to a jeweler to get that authentication. So I'm struggling a little bit, to be honest with you, to understand what the business is here, and if there is even a business, to be honest with you. So that would be my kind of feedback.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mark. Hey, Yannick, maybe there's an idea around verification of supply chain, you know, and using blockchain to authenticate each aspect of the supply chain to make sure that individual components coming out of the factory have been stamped at each point to therefore verify that this is a legit watch, this is totally genuine. I don't know. Okay, look, I'm conscious of time. Leonard, are you ready? You could be quick.
Yeah, I'll be quick.
Okay.
So I'm co-founder of Galactico Immersive, which is the world's leading immersive sci-fi and space travel resort. We're developing immersive experiences where space travel fans, futurists, and people who would like to get interesting experiences while travel experience this new kind of entertainment. The problem, we are operating in the hospitality and the entertainment sector. So the sector is facing a couple of major problems. Stale entertainment, new experiences are needed to satisfy entertainment and global tourist demand. There is a social connection. There are a lot of social media apps, but there is less social interaction. Accessibility to advanced experiences is quite limited. Interest in space tourism is very high. However, people have a very limited choice. And the blend of educational, inspirational, void, lack of venues combining entertainment with educational, especially concerning space travel or futurist, signifies a market gap. I also have a point about why now. Technological maturity, the growth of immersive entertainment is driving interest across various venues, including hotel, resorts, stadiums, museums, and so on. And there is a huge experience economy boom where immersive technologies are considered critical for the effective of digitalization. We're on the point of starting our fundraising. And if you have any questions, feel free to get back to me.
Thanks, Leonard. We had some office hours in the week. So I'm going to go last here because I know Mark and Robin haven't seen this before. So Robin, what's your thoughts?
Well, first of all, when I saw the slide, I didn't know if I should actually start reading it because it was just like a lot of text. So I was trying to focus on what you were saying instead, but then the text distracted me. So to be honest, I don't really know what it is. I am sort of in between like a VR hotel and a space themed hotel, like a physical one, in-person one. So like I honestly don't know what it is that you're selling, and I was trying to understand it by reading.
Yeah, sure. Is the latter, is the second.
Okay, because it's like immersive, but is it in person?
Yes,
Or
yeah. So it's not VR, it's AR and mixed realities and other immersive technologies.
Okay, yeah, because I think that was because you put down some credentials and experiences, AR, VR, etc. So I'm thinking, okay, this is just a VR thing. So I think that's very, very important to to make clear, because it was very confusing to me. But yeah, no, that would be my big point. It was hard for me to follow.
Mark,
I thought it was a metaverse. I thought it was a virtual world to begin with that you had built, which was actually an experience that I thought, okay, another one of these, that's fine. So let's see what's different. But I agree with Robin in terms of that slide. Would you be better off having 5 or 6 slides with a single image that told a story as you progress through the slide deck, as opposed to literally just reading off of the slide that you have, because it's very difficult for us to get an idea or understanding around what the business actually is. And then a lot of time was kind of spent on the problem. I know there needs to be a problem and a solution per se, but it's more around a demand for as opposed to being a problem. I could get that. I could identify with that in terms of new experiences being needed, but I'm still not exactly clear on whether this is actually an environment in the physical world that you then enhance through AR, or if it's all kind of virtual. So I'm still unclear on that, but I'd like to see more. It's certainly interesting. I certainly agree that there's more experiences needed for people within leisure and tourism. It's kind of getting a bit dry, and we're running out of things to do. So I'd like to see more, but I think you need to be able to tell a story better, and there needs to be a flow.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mark. So Leonard, look, don't lose heart here. Okay, this is part of the experience, right? I guess just to kind of double down on what I said during the week is, are you a property developer? And you said, well, no, I'm not. And so, building something that looks like the Starship Enterprise is going to cost you quite a few bags of cash. So who do we find then that we know that is a property developer that's going to buy into the projects and going to steal your project and then go off and do it for themselves? So what is it that you're able to protect? So then I kind of pivot back to VR experiences and think about VR experiences and say, right, well, now we're in the realms of movie production, which is also quite expensive. So who can we use? Who do we know can actually create those kind of VR, AR type style immersive experiences where the venue isn't necessarily the $5 billion tower in Dubai? It's like I said, the top of the Spinnaker Tower here, where we create a Star Trek day, and we have everyone with goggles on and we take off, we turn it into a spaceship for the day. So I think there's a lot of opportunity and a lot of pivot and a lot of someone's just turned up literally an hour and 15 minutes late, so I'm not going to let them in. There's a lot of pivot and a lot of opportunity, but I feel like you're trying to boil the ocean right at this point, and that's tough. That's tough. So let's try and chunk it up into bite-sized chunks. What's the Australian saying? We're going to eat the elephant one bite at a time, right? Maybe it's Australian. I don't know.
Yeah.
Guys, everyone, thank you so much. That was really, really cool. So I am not going to keep you any longer. FI people will see you around about 6:30. It's going to be a massively long evening, but and you're going to love it. Everyone else, great to see you. William, Jonathan, I owe you emails. Robin, I owe everyone emails. So I'll just email and get on with it. Okay. Thank you for turning up to Pitch Club. You're welcome every Wednesday at 4 o'clock, and I hope you found that useful.
Yeah, thanks very much for inviting me. Very good. That was great.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
See you guys.